go. We all set? Good evening. Welcome to the July 11th, 2023 Murraysville Planning Commission meeting. Would please all rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America
and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Patty, please call the roll, please.
Mr. Lemke?
Here.
Ms. Hoy? Mr. Midal?
Here.
Mr. Patrick?
Here.
Mr. Olszewski?
Here.
Mr. Kearns?
Here.
Mr. Levecki?
Here.
We have a quorum. We have a period for public comment on the agenda. Does anyone out there in the public have anything they wish to bring to the attention of the Planning Commission? No?
No, not at this time.
Nothing good on TV tonight? Okay. All right, new business. This is a request by Eaton Park for an advisory meeting concerning a proposed addition and construction of a drive-through at their existing building down on Route 22. Someone representing the applicant?
Hi, I'm Jesse Stock with Eaton Park, so obviously representing the applicant. Obviously wanted to go through just a little bit of what our intent is there, and then open up for, advisory questions. So if you could, you could probably go to the next one. That's just to kind of give you a little bit of an idea where we're at right there. Oh, right, yep, that guy. So what we're looking to do is several things here. One is the addition of a pickup window. So unlike a drive-through window, yes, you can drive your car through, but this is a pickup window. You order ahead. Thank you. An order ahead via phone or online, right? Because we're making everything fresh, so it's going to take at least 20 minutes. So you cannot order at this window. If you pull up to the window, we're asking you to turn back around and park to order. We are not accepting orders at the window because, well, you'd be sitting there for 20 or 30 minutes waiting for your order. So just clarifying, you know what I mean? There is no ordering station there. There's no like a quick serve restaurant. This is a bit different. This, we currently have 49 of our 57 Eaton Park locations have pickup windows. 2 more are already permitted, so we would be at, 51 here, 52, with this one. So just to give you an idea, we have been doing this for quite a few years. We haven't seen problems with it. Our average orders, it's less about top line sales there. It's more about an amenity for the community, for those who might not have the ability to come in, for those who are coming after soccer practice to just get a healthier meal. That's what this truly is about, keeping us up to date with the current times. So our average, meals for peak times over dinner, 10 to 15 meals coming through. This is not where there's a line of 200 vehicles wrapping around the building by any means. So it gives you an idea of the intent of the pickup window there. The other additions, because there's several additions here, and there's some parking changes here too. The other addition to the left side of the building there, as we're looking at it, is a dining room addition, right? That's for dining room area. Pretty self-explanatory there.
That's the big cross-hatched area.
Correct, yeah. They are shaded a little bit more, and as we progress through this, more detailed drawings would come with it. But just giving you some global look of our first initial schematic designs here. To the left would be the dining room addition, just to right-size our building to our current needs here. We would also be adding on a little bit the front there for just a vestibule area. And then the one to the right, but further back towards the building, that's just a walk-in freezer addition to also scale up the size of kind of our needs at this location. It's always had a small walk-in freezer, so that's not even for the public there. Other amenities right here that you'll see, the handicap parking stalls would be moved, and there'd be more of them. We're a net of our area right there. Now, I don't know about the overall development, but of our area, we're a net loss of 3 parking spaces with the addition. So give you an idea there, we are increasing our ADA parking from 2 to 4 spots with this. So gives you that. And then the other portion from a site plan standpoint, right now, our dumpster blocks where, that pickup window would connect back up to the shopping center, right? It's a dead end there. So this not only helps kind of the circulation around the space, but truly for our deliveries, Right now, you wouldn't believe how many vehicles kind of come to that back area, realize it's a dead end. There's a delivery in there. They're kind of trapped and moving around, just kind of unsafe kind of conditions back in that space. So you would circulate. The lane to the right is truly about that delivery zone, right? Parking right there, safe, instead of trying to navigate the back and blocking traffic. The dumpster area does come closer up front there, aligns with the drive lane for easier access of trash removal at that point. At the top of the drive lane there for the exit, but it's very small print there, but do not enter signs and stop signs right there, right? So it's one-way traffic, do not enter signs, so there would be no circulation kind of cutting back through that zone, trying to cross traffic there. Like I said, very preliminary here, obviously new, kind of to go with this that, the drawings aren't showing. There'd be more to this from a building standpoint, upgrading exterior, interior, landscaping, concrete. It's a pretty substantial remodel we would be proposing along with these additions. So it's not just clipping these onto the old-looking building. We're really trying to address our partnership with the community here. We've been here quite a few years, so really just want to kind of make it a little bit better place for the neighborhood.
I noticed on the one plan, it said that, where did that go? There it is. It's on 2 of 3.
Yep.
That dumpster is called out as a VersaLock block wall.
The backside, the elevation change between, you see the angled parking spaces to the right there, and then there's steps down. There's about probably I'm going to guess, right? I didn't shoot the elevations here, but probably anywhere from a 30-inch to maybe 36-inch. I'm going to say close to that with the 3 to 4 steps there, elevation change. So that VersaLock is making up the backside of the dumpster elevation change.
Okay, yeah, I was just wondering what was going on there. Would you be opposed to doing some sort of split face block for around that whole thing, as opposed to, I think it calls out for like a wood?
It's a composite decking. Yep. We're just trying to break down the material so it just didn't look like a big, concrete block over there. Our building already has a lot of the, split face and stuff on it. Wouldn't be opposed to it, especially as, if that's, but we're just trying to have a little material kind of gain there. We'd also be planting landscaping in front of it, right, to not highlight a dumpster right off the road there. So you'd see some nice landscaping in front of it. Obviously not blocking visual off of 22, staying within our property lines there, but just addressing that from a visual standpoint.
Okay, I see. I saw the womanized wood, and then I do see where you're talking, where it's noted as composite fencing. It's everyone's preference there. That's the only thing I see that.
So, continuing on with that comment, as you approach to the rear, there's an elevation difference where you meet the traffic going this way. You don't think you're going to need a little wall there as well along, or do you think there's enough there to?
So that elevation change from where the cars would drive up, right? We would be connecting the two elevations together. To the right, that landscaping area makes up the difference. So that curb, basically where we're stepping our dumpster into that area is the only area that we need to actually retain. The other landscaping area is already there where there's a high point curb and a low point curb, and that I think it's just river rock right there is making up the difference.
Yeah, can we put some landscaping in there when you get to final plans?
So to that whole island right there to the right of the
Yes.
driveway, absolutely. Yeah, that would make sense there.
Are those steps there? I didn't notice the.
They are. Yeah, there's 3 steps there. So the owner of this, obviously this shopping center owns the one next to it. So that's the connection point there between them. We would address those in it. Those would get Newport steps, and because we'd be altering kind of that curb right next to it there.
And where you have the handicap spots, you're expanding to the left. I guess that's actually west.
Correct.
You got some elevation issues there as well with the parking lot.
So yes, that sidewalk right there would be depressed, and you see the furthest parking space to the right, the lines going through there. That's a ramp going up. So those parking spaces would be flushed with that area, right, with bollards for the actual sign, so they're not pulling ahead. So you'd park, go straight through, and then that's the ramp up to the elevation of the building there, which is a curb height there.
I see, so I'll call it spot number 4, there's a ramp on the sidewalk.
Correct. Yep.
Why didn't you put the handicap spots in front of the entrance?
Because that depressed area would be in front of the entrance, so you'd be walking from our building down, right, to meet the ADA compliance. So we need to space them over to left or right to address it so that you're not, because coming into the, basically you'd have to ramp up the sidewalks right in front of the front doors and down. So you'd be going up and down along the front. It's hard to describe there, maybe. I'd have to visually kind of draft it for you.
Yeah, well, we'll see it on the final plan.
How's the garbage truck going to access that dumpster?
So if you could push down further, if you have the capability for that dumpster area right there, so straight ahead, access through, because right now they currently drive straight and then they turn basically where the pickup window is, right? That same traffic would go right through there currently, and they lift up in that space, then they back out all the way to 22, pivot, and then drive out. Right now they would go straight in, back up, and then exit out the new delivery lane. So it's actually just a safer, kind of more continuous route there now, proposed.
Just a question. When you say it's a pickup window, so you're driving there, you're sitting in your car, and somebody hands it to you nobody's coming out.
Correct.
Okay.
Yep, no one's coming out. You're there as a transactional, right, to pay, unless you've prepaid online, and then you're just there to pick up. If you phoned in your order, you're paying for your order and exchange and for your food.
Have you gotten approval from the landowner for this?
Yes.
Dumpsters are typically messy areas and smelly areas. How are you going to control that there?
Pretty much the same way we're controlling it in the backside, right? Because right now you actually see even a fair amount of ours. When you come into development, you're kind of looking at the backside of our dumpster there.
Yeah, but you don't have people sitting there waiting for food.
Yep. Very common. I'll probably bring some more examples in front of you. This is very common, right? Because a lot of our locations, you're currently circulating the whole way around the building to kind of come to a pickup window. No different than at a McDonald's or anywhere else, right? You have to go all the way around the building. So you're going to see the dumpsters at pretty much any of the kind of quick serve or pickup windows you have. We have an internal maintenance crew, so we're always after kind of keeping clean, pressure washing, addressing that. We consistently keep up with our cleanliness, especially because those are, we have our internal audits. So our team is kind of constantly tracking that.
So your net 3 parking loss, does that include the calculation for the addition?
Correct.
So how many spaces were created with the addition, or demand was created with the addition?
The demand, I didn't calculate with the addition demand.
So it's not-
Unknown is connecting with the landlord on the current overall development demand.
Okay.
But I
so-
would bring back, that's been requested, I need to bring that back for the next meeting. That's a little bit unknown on my end.
How many spaces are there where the addition is now?
I think there's, look back at the drawing, I think there's 6 on that side where the addition is.
Okay.
Yeah. So the 20 spaces you have to the left of the building, are they where they are now?
Correct, yes.
Okay, so you just took out the spaces on the left or the west side of the building?
Correct.
for
It'd be the
addition.
spaces facing in, the single-sided parking facing directly into our building.
What's the square foot of the addition?
Total of all the additions, it's 1,400 and I think 1,412 square feet addition. Each one is broken down, I think, further on the sheet. Yes, 1,412 square feet.
You might want to do that calculation as part of the site plan. Show the net loss and then the gain with the addition.
I mean, did you even, okay, so you just have a summary here of what's there versus what's proposed?
Correct. Yep.
Yeah.
But I have the existing drawings too, so I'll just bring
Right.
those to the next.
Yeah, I mean, I would take a look and see what, I mean, the first thing I would do to save yourself some trouble is to see what you can, see what's needed for this, for the ordinance, and then see if you can see if you meet that with the parking, the 2 rows just to the west of the building, plus the front, right along the building, and then right along 22, and see if you can meet that requirement. And then if you can, I don't think you need to worry about what's going on in the rest of the
site.
building.
You're talking about the
You
rest
guys-
of the site?
Yeah.
Well, I think Jim raises a point. Typically you'd have to assess, because this is all common, you'd have to assess the whole complex. And, this would, building, the restaurant part, isn't the requirement like 1 space per 90 square feet or something
I
like?
thought it was 200. I don't recall right offhand.
Be less than 200.
Yeah, it's a lot less than
Large,
200.
yeah,
We
it's
changed
close
that
to
years ago.
75 or
Yeah, 90 or
typically
something.
what I see. So,
Yeah. Did you look at that, sir?
I did not yet.
Okay.
How many total square feet is the building after the additions? You know?
It's on that drawing. I want to say it's close to 6,400 square feet.
Your building.
Correct.
Yeah, the new gross 6831.
Yeah, I think it's 530 something.
Yeah, I think after looking at that real quick, you're back to looking at the whole.
But we do have the spots to the right also, right, that are connected with that whole development on that side to use those
Well-
spaces. So that's why I like connecting all of the development together.
I don't know whether this is 2 separate parcels or whether it's all one big parcel. Both.
Good question.
1 space for every 60 square feet.
Ooh.
Worse. 60, yeah.
Yeah, so you need to account for,
Is
How many
that
square
is that
feet
public
is
or is that?
everything?
he needs 114 spaces.
Yeah.
And is the count for just the public square footage or back of house?
No, just
Gross.
public square foot.
Just public, so it'd
I think
be,
it's public.
it would be less.
I think it's public.
Because there's no way we would have that many
Right, yeah.
team members in the back have house and half that restaurant's back house. So
Well, I think you can also submit a parking study.
Study, yes.
And, my experience at that shopping center is there's a lot of spaces left over
Yeah.
that nobody's parking in, but they're so far away. But
I'm sorry, it's 60 square feet of gross floor area plus 1 parking space for each 3 outdoor seats.
Yeah, that's a lot.
it's a lot. Yeah.
so you
That's what I see for fast food restaurants.
yeah.
What's the occupancy?
I'll calculate that off the proposed square footage and bring that back. Obviously, hate to speak of it because there's all kinds of that area is broken up for vestibule and different spaces. So
I don't even think you get 110 people in there.
right.
Not where it is presently, but maybe with the addition, still be a stretch, wouldn't it?
It would be a stretch. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, is there any further questions from members of the Planning Commission? Want to beat them up anymore?
Any other significant research or anything else we should bring back? Because we obviously plan on coming back that the board would like to see.
Well, it looks like you're whatever you're doing there, it's already existing impervious area. So you shouldn't have to do any stormwater calculations to do that. The only thing I would advise you to think about where you're putting those 2 lanes on the right going back to the rear. Right now that's curbed and the stormwater is directed across the rear of your building. You might want to take a look at what happens there because you've got a lot of area from that access ramp up to Old 22. And, you might have a goodly amount of water coming down there.
Correct.
You have to
Yep.
control.
We'll check on that. I know there is stormwater to the back west side of the building, that back corner. There's stormwater there, drain, and then I believe there's also to the front. So it's just about making sure that we're not creating the waterfall all the way down. But yeah, absolutely, we can.
Yeah.
Are you creating new parking spots? Are you paving that area?
Yeah, we would be, all up front, but around the handicap parking would all be out of concrete, right, to meet the percentages. So all around that would be all new pavement, all around all the new
impervious
concrete
paving.
would be new pavement, and then those whole drive lanes.
Yeah, we do have some sort of ordinance, and checking our stormwater, I think it was, 50% of any new parking spaces have to be pervious pavers. So, what else would they run into, Chris?
I think that's about it. I mean,
might-
just tying into your new downspout locations, making sure you know where you're going to run those to. Landscape, make sure I think if that's composite decking, you can make that dumpster look nice since it's along 22. Make sure you're screening it along the roadway very well.
Landscaping, you're going to have to provide for that because the existing center's somewhat lacking in that regard.
Absolutely. We plan on, you see it as we're doing new concrete pretty much all the way around. We would be putting in new landscaping all the way around our building. We'll bring those details of impervious, pervious kind of ratios kind of to that, and then what we'd plan for it.
Are you
I
doing-
guess you're going to have to push the drive aisles at the rear back a little bit to provide that landscaping strip, because I think isn't the paving right up to the building now?
There's a little strip there.
There's a little strip there.
There is a little strip there? Okay. All right.
We'd make sure we'd keep anything towards that back, nothing more mature trees, anything small and along the landscaping area there. Same thing at the top, that island you spoke to the right. Keep that low, so if you're coming up and trying to exit, it wouldn't be blocking any visual of oncoming traffic.
Okay.
Yeah, I think parking is your. I think that's. Just make sure you have that nailed down. I think fairly well, and if it doesn't, and like Bob mentioned, you can always do a parking study where you're. And Jim could provide you with some examples of that folks have done.
Appreciate that.
You doing any facade improvements?
Absolutely. The whole entire building would
Bring
get
some
facade upgrade.
elevations in.
Sure. Yeah, we can bring elevations in. We'd have that ready. I'd obviously have more existing proposed, some spot elevations there so you guys can understand the grade changes a little bit more. We'll bring the visual of the elevations also, so anything exterior kind of driven out there.
What are you going to use on the exterior?
The Chiha panels.
I'm sorry?
The Chiha panels,
I don't know what those are.
They're nice. They're like a.
they're a composite and pulpwood press. They've been in Japan for over 50 years. Pretty cool system. You'll see a lot of the kind of commercial stuff's using them now. So
It's like
Might wanna-
cardboard, but in bigger sections, basically.
You might want to bring a couple of samples of that in when you finally submit, so that everybody can see, 'cause I know council will want to take a look at what the facades look like.
absolutely, it'll look a lot better than our current facade. So I appreciate that. Yeah.
Do you have any questions for us, sir?
No, Jay, just wanted to make sure that we weren't, obviously there's more details, but just that there wasn't any glaring misses right now, that we could just keep adding additional layers on to provide the information. So thank
Is
you.
there a quick answer? It's Eaton Park. Well, why wouldn't it be Park and Eat?
There is a long answer about a different trademark of the time and how that was already taken. So that's why I got diverted to that.
Okay.
There's a much longer, there's actually a whole book. Came out, was it 2 years ago on Eaton Park that we can purchase and you can read all about it. So good stuff there. Next year's our 75th year in business. So
I used to waste a considerable part of my youth driving around to Eaton Park.
That's where the weekly drag races are set up.
good times now. Thank you so much for your time.
All right, good luck.
Thanks.
Oh, how long do you think it's going to take you to get all this stuff together?
We'll be back here the next meeting. So as quick as we can, we will be gathering and providing this information as quickly as possible, unless there are any
Okay, you're gonna be
unforeseen
working-
hurdles.
You're gonna be working long and hard then. Okay.
Absolutely.
All right, thank you.
Plans by the end of the month.
Mr. Morrison, anything else good for the good of the cause?
No, I guess we'll have Eaton Park coming back and have a 3-lot subdivision and maybe Caliber Collision.
Who?
Caliber Collision,
Oh, that's the one out on 22?
up past Manordale.
Okay. That is zone business, right? Okay. Is that a permitted or conditional use in business?
It's a permitted use.
Was-
Or car repairs permitted.
They are? Okay.
However, they neglected to understand that we have a subdivision and land development ordinance.
And I'm sure you made them aware of that.
They're made aware of it.
Okay. Anything else?
That's it for now.
No?
Excuse me, Bob.
Go ahead, Jim.
Meeting minutes from last
Yeah, I
month.
was going to mention that to you.
I looked them over. I don't have any.
Minutes. Yeah, I didn't see it on the agenda here.
See, Google minutes.
Yeah, they look good.
Yeah, I
They look, there was one typo, it was aces instead of acres there at the bottom of the front page. 19
okay, so
aces.
somebody want to make a motion to approve the minutes?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye. Oh, I see it here. I did skip over that. Thank you. Good catch. Okay. If there's nothing else for the good of the cause. Carl, how you making out with our raises for next year?
It's in committee.
Been there for 20 years. Somebody want care to make a motion?
I'll move we adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. Thank you all.